So you're going to go watch Aquaman when it comes out?
No. The DC Extended Universe is the commonly used term to describe the intersecting series of comic book movies based on DC's legendary stable of comic book characters. Despite the fact the term is used interchangeably by both fans and the media, it's not actually one that DC themselves officially endorse, and in fact they have no idea where it comes from. Which is kind of hilarious because the term was actually coined by a guy as a joke wanting to make fun of Warner Bros.
So wait, Warner Brothers don't use the DC Extended Universe term to describe their universe?
No, nor do they use the commonly used acronym of DCEU. And in an interview with some dude, they were like, yeah, we don't use that. We're not sure where it comes from. It's not used internally. We don't know why you keep saying it.
What does that mean? Why did you say that name?
It's got to be a bit annoying for Warner Brothers, hasn't it?
It has, and according to that executive in that interview I just mentioned, the reason they find it annoying is because they feel that using it will draw, unfair comparisons between their series of movies and Marvel's series of movies. Just have a minute, Brad, to let that thought sit in your mind for a moment. Warner Bros. Get pissed off at people using the term DC Extended Universe because they feel that it's drawing unfair parallels between their movies and movies put out by Marvel. Now, I'm just going to put it out there, I think Marvel will be more pissed off about it than DC, because I don't think any studio out there at the moment trying and failing to launch a cinematic universe would ever complain about being compared to Marvel, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. But I bet Marvel must be pissed off about being compared to fucking Warner Bros. A piece of shit. It's like, yeah, we released Infinity War. We released something that made $1 billion at the box office and stars like 40 fucking big name actors. And what did you do? You got CGI top lip Henry Cavill scowling his way through a movie that you had to bring our old director in to try and fix. But you know what the hilarious thing is? When Warner Bros, obviously those executives, inevitably have to correct the interview saying, well, the DCEU or DC Extended Universe is not a term we use internally. What do you think the question that journalist asks is?
What do you use internally?
Well, and the answer to that is they don't. There is no official term for the DC Extended Universe series. There's no official term for those films.
I can't even think what they would call it. They can't call it the DC.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because obviously,
CU.
Yeah, I think it's the word universe that they don't like, because obviously the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then you have the DC Extended Universe. They don't like that. So if you called it the DC Cinematic Universe, that'd be DCCU, and that just sounds stupid.
DCCU.
The DCCU.
DCCU.
Woo! DCCU. Yeah, let's go. I also love as well that people always call it DC Comics, and then when DC
Detective
Comics.
So if there's no officially recognised term, where does the term DCEU come from?
Well, understandably, that intrigued the journalist conducting that interview, a guy called Abraham Reisman. So he decided to do a bit of internet sleuthing, by which he probably went onto Wikipedia and looked it up like I did, and found out that it all comes from an article written for Entertainment Weekly in 2015. Specifically, during that article, which was centred around the cinematic masterpiece known as Batman v Superman, the author, Keith Staskiewicz, I apologise for mispronouncing that, coined the term DC Extended Universe as a nod to the fact movie studios are anything but original.
So this was an article about Batman versus Superman?
Mostly, but also about the corporate culture surrounding the making of the movie.
See, there's something I've always found kind of weird about when they portray Superman.
Okay.
How come he can't just win everything? Like when that bomb goes off in that courtroom, why can't he just move at Superman? Because he's in Justice League, he's faster than the Flash.
Oh yeah.
Why
and
can't
the Flash
he just get
can
the
move
bomb?
faster than a bolt of lightning. So when Superman looks over, sees that bomb, and then just lets it go off, we can now establish, obviously, those movies are interlinked, and Superman is exactly as powerful as he was in each movie, unless inexplicably dying makes him stronger. So he could have reacted at the speed that the Flash does and thrown that bomb, wheelchair and all, into fucking orbit and saved everyone's life. But instead, he just stands there and watches it happen.
But even if he went over and blocked some of the explosion.
You mean the guy with a completely indestructible body?
Yeah.
Right, you mean he could have just thrown himself on top of the bomb and protected people?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, Captain America did it with a grenade.
Yeah, Captain America does it with a piece of metal. He does it with a frisbee. Captain America would have stopped that bomb. Even fucking Batman in that movie runs into the debris to try and save somebody. Superman, the guy's completely indestructible, can move at hypersonic speed, doesn't try and help a single person.
So you said the term DCEU was coined to make fun of Warner Bros' lack of originality.
Yes, and the author of that article jokingly says, I don't actually know what this series of movies is going to be called, but I would presume they'd think of something like, the DC Extended Universe, because that seems like something Warner Bros. Would do. Right? As a direct, knowing jab at the fact they were so obviously and transparently trying to ape the success of Marvel Studios. When later asked to clarify his comments in an interview, Staskiewicz noted that the term DC Extended Universe was literally a joke he coined to make fun of how obvious it was that Warner Bros. Were trying to chase that Marvel money, noting that he tried as hard as he could to make it clear in his article he was being sarcastic.
How did he do that?
In his original article, every single time he uses the term DC Extended Universe, he put a little trademark symbol behind it to show that he's taking the picture. Like we did, like, oh yes, symbiote, trademark Sony Pictures, that joke.
They changed that, didn't they?
They were so embarrassed. Oh man, never stop eating shit, Sony Studios, never stop. Give us infinite fodder for articles, it's great.
Anyway, less about the symbiote trademark Sony Pictures and back to DC Extended Universe.
Trademark Warner Bros. That's the joke he was making, and he assumed that no reasonable person is going to think something so stupid would be something that Warner Bros. Would actually come up with. Because he assumed that if they were going to come up with a name, it wouldn't be something that so obviously copied the MCU. And it turns out, though, that not as many people online as he thought are very good at reading sarcasm. Because a lot of people just assume that he had some insider knowledge somehow, and that's what it was being called internally. So that's the term they used. The DCEU is literally a joke that nobody got except one guy. And I don't think anything sums up, Warner Bros. Efforts to make an interconnected series of movies more than that fact.
I'll be honest, I will probably see Aquaman, but it's only because by this point my expectations are so low that I'm expecting it to be better than I think it's going to be.
All this movie has to do is clear this foot-high hurdle every movie they've released up to this point has stumbled over, and apparently it's done that. It's doing quite well in China.
Apart from Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was alright.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. All it's got to do is be better than Batman v Superman. All you've got to do is give some levity to this character who's known for being awesome. It's not fucking hard, is it? It's not hard to be better than Suicide Squad. It's like, the one that we always forget is a thing. Every time we do a video, someone always makes you forgot Suicide Squad. Because it's that fucking bad. I think the way we can put this in perspective, Brad, of how misguided that universe is for all the people who are probably yelling at us in the comments. Imagine for a moment, folks, if the second movie Marvel released in the MCU was Civil War. Imagine if they released one Iron Man movie that did quite well, and then immediately did Civil War, and it introduced Captain America. That's basically what they did in 6. They went, what? Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
And they introduced 3 characters in that movie. It'd be hilarious if it wasn't so sad. You've got some of the most valuable piece of intellectual property to exist on Earth, and you can't make a good movie about it. People don't, even the actors don't want to be in their fucking movies. Just think, right? So Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill both quit. Just imagine how bad things must be behind the scenes. That Ben Affleck is like, I don't want people to call me Batman. Henry Cavill's like, fuck being Superman. Netflix original series, let's go. It's like when someone looks at a Netflix original series and thinks that's got more longevity than a fucking movie about Batman and Superman punching each other's dick off. The only people I know in any of the things that Warner Bros. Are doing right now who seem to enjoy their job are the people on the TV shows, because they just don't give a fuck. They are continuously just hamming it up, and it's great. The fact that baffles me the most, though, is that Warner Bros. Themselves have no official name for what these movies are supposed to be fucking called. It's like, how little faith do you have in them? You try to build an interconnected universe without a fucking name. What are you doing? It's like, it shows that if they don't care, why the fuck should I?
It's just amazing how much they fucked up.
Yeah, how do you mishandle it this badly to the point where people, like we mentioned, actors don't want to be Superman? Like, how many kids grew up wanting to be Superman, and now like an actor was given a shot, be Superman, get paid millions of dollars, and be like beloved around the world? Like, now fuck that, I want to go swing a sword at a chimera in a fucking Netflix
we
series.
establish you potentially for the next 20 years being the most powerful and perfect being in cinema, in fiction.
Do you want to be Batman? No. So you just need to edit out, I'm not Batman.
Who do you reckon to make a good Batman? Well, let's help them recast.
Recast Batman, Brendan Fraser, get him the fucking job.
Oh, Brendan Fraser would be a great Batman.
Anyone would be, that's the thing, like, actors don't make roles make actors. Especially when it comes to like superheroes. Because like, the more well-known the actor you cast as one of these superheroes, the less likely you are to like see that character as the character. Like, I had no real clue who Chris Evans was before he was in Marvel movies, and now he's Captain America. And I'm sure he's going to appreciate that for the rest of his fucking life. He's going to love that shit. He's coming back for more. He don't give a fuck. He loves being Captain America. Like, when he's on the news, they just put Captain America below him. The thing though is, like, oh yeah, I'm going to turn down a lifetime of royalties and an easy paycheck for the next 10 years because fuck these movies. How bad are they behind the scenes? Like, Henry Cavill was more excited to punch Tom Cruise than he was to be Superman.